Welcome into Bristol Motor Speedway, qualifying underway for the Arc Music Xfinity Series, part of the Sidewinder Racing League's drivers heading out for their qualifying attempts. Hayden, welcome to the booth. What we got going on tonight?
We have 160 godforsaken laps around this concrete half mile.
And what, 28 cars set to do battle here. Could be quite a traffic jam out there.
Lucas said pre-race that the cars feel different compared to when they've normally run here, so that'll be interesting. He hasn't exactly predicted a great race, but, you know, maybe these Xfinity guys can surprise us.
Never know what's going to play out here tonight. We got 4 minutes to go in qualifying. Drivers get 2 laps to set their quickest time. Most drivers running up by the wall. Do you think that's going to be the preferred line for qualifying here?
I think somewhere more around the middle is probably the line for qualifying, but that's going to drastically change once we get to the race. You're either going to be up by the wall trying to make a bunch of time, or you're going to be right down where that concrete meets the asphalt to try to save those Goodyear rubber.
Trevor Trago gets the laps in, then spins his car out on his second lap, so he'll have to stand on his first lap time. Garrett Wolfenbarger in the 32 out there putting his time down. Goes much quicker on his second lap. He'll jump all the way up to second behind Grant Harrell. Or it's Harrell, I learned. Sorry. Let's get that straight.
Is it really?
It's Harrell. Grant Harrell.
Oh. All right, well, we got to get that pre-programming out of our head now.
I know, right? We got to reprogram our entire brain. Just when you think you know something. It's Harrell. Just put an I in place of the first R and you're good to go.
All right, Harrell.
Harrell.
Like Farrell, but Harrell.
It's feral hair.
There we go.
Matt
Cleaver
Banky
up to P2, Matt Banky P3, all ahead of Garrett Wolfenbarger. That's good qualifying effort from those guys. Grant Harrell still P1 with that 14.856 as we're nearing halfway in qualifying. Still some heavy hitters yet to set a lap, like Blake Giglio, Lucas Hoytsma, Michael Edwards,
Thomas Green.
Practice winner Isaac Shelley yet to set a lap down.
Thomas Green to the top of the charts as I said his name.
14.770, nearly a tenth faster than Grant Harrell.
Playoff car Mike Edwards in the 14. Playoff indicators by the blue front splitter, blue rear window banner, blue left side Arc Music part of the banner, the blue rear spoiler. Great job, Hayden, making those decals. Not to toot your own horn, so I'll do it for you.
I did it pre-race, so you can do it on the official broadcast. That's fine with me. Swiss complimented me on something that will be recorded and stuck on YouTube forever.
Avid saying, without Hayden out there, maybe this race will go smoother.
Maybe it will. You know what? Very valid argument.
Hayden's a bit of a weapon at Bristol.
I'm more of a weapon at Talladega.
Well, there's Isaac Shelley sitting there on the end of the pit lane. Fastest car in practice. Still yet to roll here. There he goes.
Whoa, Blake Giglio really loose off of turn 4, coming to get the green for his second lap, and he's still sliding in turn 2, and he's going to spin it around.
Blake is going to go to the rear of the field for the start of that one. Oh, he actually got a lap in. So he sets fourth. I did not know his lap counted there. So he will actually get a lap to count. The second one won't be any good. And here's our fastest car in practice. Isaac Shelley on the first time lap, running it up high.
Banky, you will be fine.
Scott Rankin clocks in second.
Oh, Blake Giglio crashing again. 55 seconds left in qualifying. I missed 56 seconds, unfortunately.
Still had to mention it, didn't he?
Yep.
Isaac Shelley this time running lower on the track. Gets it a bit sideways coming off the corner, but keeps the power down to 14.85 all the way up to the third spot. Scott Rankin, meanwhile, jumped up to the second spot. His Nero Power won against
Mustang. Only P5.
At the moment. He was going to race well, I am sure. Jeremy Scherer now out on track.
Lucas isn't on track, so that's where he's going to be with that 14.858.
Twenty-one cars have put a lap down. Trago the slowest so far.
Whole field's separated by only 0.4 of a second.
I don't think Scherer's going to make it around 3 and 4 in time to get his lap in. And he's into the wall anyway, so it's not going to count. Thomas Green, your pole sitter here tonight. You have him in chat anywhere? I think he is down there at the bottom.
Let's go grab that driver of the number 3 machine.
Sounds like a violation of...
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Bristol.
I'll
We
find
got
Listener
it.
160
laps tonight. Halfway is going to be at
Here we
the
go.
end of lap 80. Let's see. We got 5 total sets of tires. Start, as always, is on green. All starts thereafter on the leader. After the pace car goes into pit road, leader has lane choice. If you need anything else, holler. Good luck. Have fun.
Okay, bring him in.
Thomas, this is Hayden and Swiss up in the booth. You got us?
I gotcha.
Well, you put it on pole. Lucas Hoytsma said pre-race that the car feels funner to drive. Obviously, it's not that big of a deal for you if you put it on pole. How's it going?
It's driving interesting. Bristol is a little different than I expected it to be. You can kind of run top, middle, bottom. But bottom is where I kind of felt like it was best, but the rear end is going to be a little sketchy. But yeah, running this Dale Budweiser paint because he just announced that recently, so I ordered a bunch of stuff, and I figured tonight it'd be fitting for the night race at Bristol to run this paint. So I'm excited.
10-4, the old, what was it, 2002 Dale Jr. throwback paint there? Looks nice.
Yeah.
Pretty sure.
I don't remember what year it is. Yeah.
That was his rookie year, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so you got the pole for tonight, Bristol, 160 laps. How do we think the race is going to play out? You think track position is going to be everything, or are you going to be able to pass tonight?
I think there's definitely going to be some passing. You can kind of work the top. Like I said, you can kind of work whatever lane you want. So I think you can run the top and run bottom if you need to. I think passes are going to be made, but track position is definitely going to be a big help here for tonight.
10-4, appreciate you taking time to talk with us. Congrats on the pole, and we'll see if we can talk to you at the end of the race. The good finish.
Thank you guys. Put on a show.
Thomas Green starting on pole tonight. We'll go ahead and start our starting lineup here. Thomas Green, as we mentioned, the Budweiser car doing it for Dale on pole. Scott Rankin in the Wani Goons Ford starts in the second spot. Isaac Shelley, the 34 K-Love car, in third. Then Grant Harrell, I did it wrong. Harrell, we're going to get it right tonight. In the Auto Trader Ford starts in the fourth spot. Lucas Hoyts with Sunny D Ford fifth. Blake Giglio in the Kenworth W9000 starts in the sixth spot. Cody Cleaver in the Kubota Chevy starts in seventh. Matt Benke, the Skittles Chevy, great qualifying for him in eighth. Garrett Wolfenbarger, Shenandoah Shine Camaro in ninth. And Travis Martin, the Ghostman Ford, starts in 10th.
11th is playoff driver Brad Wilson to his outside. Another playoff driver, Brentley Bright, number 52. Then you have playoff driver Quentin Newton. A lot of guys riding around here. To his outside is the number 14 of Kenneth Stout. Starting 15th, another playoff driver, Mikey Edwards. Starting 16th is the 68 of Jake Lawrence. Starting 17th, the 05 of Gatlin Downey. 18th, 81 of Trent Sneed, another playoff driver. Then you have the 39 of Jeff Price in 19th. And the 37 of Cliff Mullins rounding out your top 20 qualifiers.
Trevor Trago, playoff car starting deep in the field, 21st. Dalton Hayes in the 47 Chevy starts in 22nd. Daniel Llewellyn CTC car starts 23rd. His car number there. Zach Marterson, the 88 AC Racing Graphics Chevy in 24th. Jay Munch, the Arc.io Toyota 25th. J.R. Deal in his meme car starting in 26th. Jeremy Scherer in the Circle Chevy 27th. And I don't see Scott Elson out on track, so I think we have 27 officially starting tonight.
Still a very, very large field for being race 11 of our Arc Music Xfinity series. Especially the first one of the playoffs. All 12 playoff drivers here tonight. Good turnout for them.
Brief race analysis, 160 laps, clear skies, track temp 71 degrees, low wind, 6 mile an hour. Should be a relatively good one here tonight. So we go into turn one with the green flag. Thomas Green, Scott Rankin. Thomas gets a great jump. Rankin now has to battle the 34 of Isaac Shelley for second.
Still side by side, basically the entire field after that. Lucas Hoytsma stuck there on the bottom. He's going to try to get to the front quick. The winningest driver here at Bristol in Sidewinder. 10 wins across all series.
Netcode between Isaac Shelley and Scott Rankin rear directly ahead as we get a big caution back in the back of the pack. Drivers every which way back here. Let's try to unpack what happens towards the tail of the field. Don't tell me Dalton gets Cliff.
No, it happens up
ahead
front
of him
with Gatlin, and is that Kenneth?
Oh, look, the 29's involved. Oh my gosh, Kenneth.
Kenneth gets loose out of turn 4.
Oh man, just a big wiggle. Gets into the 52 of Brantley Bryant, then slides into the inside wall, collects the inside wall, and hoods up and everything, and everyone's trying to check up behind him, really. A lot of stack up that really shouldn't have been on Kenneth. Odd that it happened, really.
Yeah, Kenneth actually did a good job for keeping that car on the apron, and yeah, everyone behind him just checking up, and someone got in the back of Cliff.
Yep.
Who is that? Oh, it's Margison. Uh-oh.
Oh boy. Brantley Bryant, the one that actually made contact with Kenneth, and he actually did a really good job saving that race car after the contact. It's one of our playoff contenders there in that 52. A little early scare for him, but a little tag in the door and keeps on going. The mess back here. My goodness. So it's really, what, just a big stack up as the Kenneth Stout car scares everybody?
Yeah, I'm guessing they were scared he was going to bounce up across the racetrack, and he didn't. But he has left the session, so that 29 machine is done for the night.
Oh, Jeff Price into the back of Gatlin. Downey in the middle of that. Shoves playoff contender Downey right front first into the outside wall.
I'll let the viewers and the drivers decide if the 29 in the garage is a good thing, but I think we're all thinking probably the same thing.
It's definitely not a bad thing.
It certainly could be worse.
Yes. Did Daniel miss all that? I think Daniel like locks up the brakes and avoids everything. Let's watch this 23. It's right in the middle of everything. Oh, he gets a little bit of Cliff, but not much. A little right front contact with Cliff. I'm sure Cliff is pretty pissed off on the radio right about now.
Frederick Trago in the middle of all that did a good job just kind of stopping, all but stopping, going down to a slow speed and just kind of crawling through there. Playoff driver avoiding catastrophe early.
Yeah, he kind of knew he was in the back of the pack. I'm sure he was ready to be on those binders.
And Cliff is not happy on the radio.
Let's get him in there.
on is, and I'll run the shit into you.
Cliff is always a good
fuck you,
interview
you
when
can't even
he
keep the car
is
straight, bitch.
hot under the collar.
Daniel.
Which is most
Daniel
nights.
actually checked up for
Cliff, this is Hayden and Swiss up in the booth. What are your thoughts on Zachary
Oh my
Margison?
god.
He needs to figure out where the fuck his brake pedal is.
coming from Daniel.
Even the blonde
I got the shit fucking woed up like a mile ahead, and he fucking just plows right into me, and then 5 other ones hit me too. So
Would you like to pull Zach in here and ask him if he knows where the brake pedal is?
I think we're going
no,
green, so
I don't
hope we
know.
have time.
He'll figure it out here in a little bit.
10-4. Oh, good luck, Cliff.
Did you know you can hold, like, click and drag somebody through channels?
Yes, I do that usually.
I've been right-clicking this whole time.
And like moving him by the name of the channel? Wow.
Yes.
Yikes.
All right, restart here, lap 7. Thomas Green's still the leader. Gets a good restart over Isaac Shelley.
Teammates on the front row. Thomas Green checks out already. Sheesh.
Really good 1 and 2 from that Bud Chevrolet.
Ooh, Cody Cleaver and Garrett Wolfenbarger. Very close proximity. Fortunately, they didn't make contact there. Bunch of playoff drivers stacked up here. Top 3 are all crashing the playoff party, and then we get a gaggle of playoff cars.
And we got another yellow.
Dalton Hayes in the 47's gone around. Running back near Jeremy Shearer.
All by himself. Tried to cut it down middle of 1 and 2 and just spun all by himself, overcorrects back up the racetrack, triggers a yellow.
Yeah, he had it saved pretty well, then just a little too much back to the right, and it locks it up, which is a good move, not to kill anybody, but it does bring out the yellow.
It is so hard to correct the correct amount because not enough and you're going to spin out, but obviously you're putting a bunch of wheel in it to not spin out, and you can very easily get behind on that steering and overcorrect it just like you saw 47 machine do. Especially at a track where the banking will unload as quick as it does. The load on the car changes very quickly. And,
That's good news for Cliff Mullins. He gets to take the wave around. He had gone 1 lap down in that 37. And he'll get back on the lead lap with Dalton Hayes' misfortune. Now the only other car a lap down. Wouldn't you know it, Cliff's best friend right now, Zach Margison in the 88. 26 cars still running as Kenneth Stout's out of this one. Scott Elston couldn't get the car out of the garage area to start the race, so unfortunate for those 2 machines out early. We still got 26 running, 25 now on the lead lap with Cliff Mullins taking the wave around.
let's go ahead and talk to the other half of that from earlier. Zach, this is Hayden Swiss up in the booth. Cliff does not like you right now. What are your thoughts?
It's good thoughts.
10 out of 10. Well, Zach, good luck. Hopefully you can get back on the lead lap and not get wrecked. Good talk. All right, Zachary Marston back down there to 10 tenths.
I like how you
Wise
said 10 out of
words.
10 for a driver from 10 tenths.
Wise words probably there from the driver of the number 88 Chevrolet.
Don't make that hole deeper. Zach, just so you know, that was all Hayden. I did not pull you up here. I don't want to get blamed. Alright, let's see what Avid's saying. Avid loves to give us chat in the YouTubes, and I'm here for it. Avid having difficulties knowing the difference between difference and offense. Those are different words. I'm not going to repeat Avid's very disgruntled comment. But if you're over on YouTube, you can see it yourself. Almost 10% of the way. We're getting there slowly but surely. I think this early caution fest is going to clear out for a little bit. We'll get kind of green in the middle, and then towards the end, people are going to get aggressive, and things are going to get sideways, I believe. Do you kind of see it playing out that way?
Yeah, I do. I'm not sure the longest green flag run will be very long, because you're never really going fast enough here to truly do a bunch of damage to your car that you can't fix. So although there might be a bunch of damaged cars, there's going to be a bunch of damaged cars that are still in the race.
There will be a bunch of damaged egos in the race, too.
Well, you got one less in there with me in the booth tonight.
That ego never gets damaged. What are you talking about?
I win enough, it doesn't get damaged.
You could stare facts right in the face and give no Fs. Thomas
Exactly.
Green takes off. Isaac Shelley clear for second. Hoytswood trying to get a good run on that bottom to get alongside. Not quite there. Grant Harrell battles the 32 of Wolfenbarger. Takes the 4th spot away. Wolfenbarger with the crossover back to the inside of that 22 machine. And we got that battle still for the 4th spot. Wolfenbarger, one of our playoff contenders, trying to chase down Lucas Hoytswood, the highest running playoff car at the moment, in 3rd.
Lucas Hoytsma came in as the top seed with 6 wins in the regular season. An absolutely dominating performance from that 97 Ford Mustang. He's
So glad we
looking-
didn't have Hayden out there, right?
Man, it could have been 3-3 instead of 6, but
Then you know
Some
you're out there
asshole.
winning like 8. Oh, Blake! Netcode turns the 16 playoff Qatar contender into the inside wall. And Blake's Kenworth gets some nose damage. Clear Netcode, sending the 16 around and into the inside wall of iRacing. Doing a great job fixing the netcode. And Blake
yeah, that is,
Giglio paying the price.
no, yeah, that is 100% netcode. Scott was maybe, I don't know, 6 inches lower than he could have been, but just netcode absolutely sends that 16 machine into the inside wall.
Blake wasn't feeling too good anyway and was saying he was hungry, so we'll see if he sticks around. Gonna have to get some nose repair on that 16. Don't want the overheating issues that can pop up with nose damage.
Blake Giglio, the 2nd seed in the playoffs, came in 9 points above the cut line. He's got a little bit of a buffer, but not anything that he can really just decide to call it quits with.
Report from the 29 team. I think this is a typo, but I'm going to read it as it was sent just for the lulz. It says, if I'm going to drive that bad, I should continue to put others in jeopardy. Pretty sure he meant shouldn't, but that's really funny.
I'm not sure he did. I'm not sure he did, honestly.
Well,
Uh,
with the disconnect, that's what I'm basing the shouldn't on.
Blake, yes, indeed, it was netcode. Blake asking in the chat.
Big net
Or
code.
race
Yeaton.
chat.
What up, Yeaton? Welcome in. Good to see you. Schizo hopping in chat. Appreciate you guys. Shenandoah Shine popping in, watching this one. Wolfenbarger up to that 5th spot in the playoffs. Brantley Bryant and Brad Wilson, they're all right there together. 5th, 6th, and 7th. Got some fast cars ahead of them. Lucas Hoytsma, Isaac Shelley, Thomas Green, all really good. Fortunately for the Shine boys, the 3 and 34 not in the playoffs, making a moonlight start here tonight.
6 of the top 10 are playoff machines.
Check the scoreboard. All the drivers underlined in that Ghostman blue patented color of Travis Martin. That underline means they are playoff contenders. We got 12 of them. They have 4 races to get as high as they can in points, and the top 4 in points will move on to the championship. Trying something different this year. Instead of the win and you're in system, we are going for points.
It's a hybrid chase and playoff system. 2 rounds. Points matter in all of it. Wins do not lock you into the next round of our playoff.
Report
A place.
Report from Corey Deal for the 1010s team that Margerson hasn't been talking to them either, so it's not just us.
Interesting. So the microphone in that number 88 machine just not working at all tonight. Going to be difficult to radio adjustments in to the pit crew for this fixed setup race.
Gotta just that brake bias.
That steering offset. Got to change the right
Oh
height.
no! Oh no! Oh no!
Thomas Green picking the outside for this restart.
Teammate lined up on the inside. I'm sure they'll work that out together pretty well. Maybe Isaac just wanted to have the bottom for this restart, and Thomas Green knows he'll be able to get ahead on the initial start anyway. Is Jake going to pull off another miracle win? I'm going to go with a no. And
Probably not, but he could.
He could. It could happen. There goes Thomas Green getting a huge launch over Isaac Shelley. Easily clears. Hoisman battles Grant Harrell. They make contact. Hoisman gets out of shape. He's going to miss the inside wall. He's able to come back onto the track.
What a save!
Lucas Hoisman, absolutely miraculous save. Not to come up into the traffic and wipe out everyone at the end of that. And that is why he is a multi-time champion and race winner in SRL. Oh, contact sends Gatlin Downey to the inside, the 05.
Oh, no, Lucas.
Let's watch Gatlin Downey bring out the caution here. It's going to be the 69 off the outside wall and into playoff contender Gatlin Downey. And Lucas Hoisman makes heavy front-end contact. No good deed goes unpunished. Hoisman getting heavy front-end contact on that 97 Sunny D Ford, and now he is torn up after saving that race car. He's got to be quite annoyed with how that unfolded.
Lucas went through that whole stretch, got the race car saved, and then unfortunately,
let's go back and appreciate.
Let's
go back and appreciate this save. It's just fan-freaking-tastic, to be honest with you. Watch the 97 battling the 22 of Grant Harrell. I did it wrong again, but I did it right that time. There's the contact as Grant doesn't go all the way out to the wall like Lucas is expecting. Lucas, fantastic job saving the race car, not getting up onto the racetrack too much to hit anyone. That is just a darn impressive maneuver by the 97. He settles back in, and the next thing you know, he gets an 05 of Gatlin Downey dropped right in his lap. As Gatlin bounces off J Munch up ahead, boom, right into the Sunny D Ford.
Absolutely
nothing Lucas could do.
He could do.
Brutal. Obviously, those cars towards the back going to come down, take pit stops, try to repair damage. Cliff Mullins in a 37, Lucas Hoisman 97. Margison back on the lead lap in the 88. His car looks relatively brand new. Maybe he took a fast repair because he had that nose damage from getting into Cliff. Let's take a look. That's the last pit stop lap. We don't want that. Fast repairs, that's what we want.
Lucas Hoitzma has used his on lap 28. Oh boy, and he's going to be in the back.
He must have had a meatball. He's going to have to be real careful going forward. That's the only reason you'd really take a fast repair that early is if you got the meatball.
Yeah.
Or the engine's down on power, which usually results in a meatball anyway. So Lucas, Margison, and Downey have all used theirs.
I wouldn't be too worried about power here, because we'll get enough yellows, you can probably get most of it back. But yeah, meatball is an instant. Daniel?
I believe that's the second time Gatlin Downey has been crashed because he had already used the meatball, or used the fast repair, and he's still sitting on the pit lane for 2 minutes of repairs. So this is big trouble for one of our playoff cars. He's already 4 laps down working on these repairs, and I believe he may have picked up a meatball because, as we said, that's about the only reason you stay on pit road and go a lap down, is if you have to.
Gatlin Downey came in 11 points under the cut line, and that is really, I don't want to say put you out of it going into the next 3, but You're going to need 3 really, really good races.
Going to be a struggle for Gatlin Downey for the rest of the playoffs, but never give up, right?
Never know what could happen. A bad race from someone like Brad or Travis can put you right back in it real quickly.
Problem with that is you have to rely on essentially 8 other drivers to have a really bad weekend there to be able to be in contention. We got checkups going on the outside. The 51 seems to have lost power. Brad Wilson suddenly dropped way back under this pace lap here. That was
He was
bizarre.
shutting it off trying to save fuel, and it would not refire.
We can't restart here, but man, that was wild. Shuffles the field all up. Battle for second is Wolfenbarger to the outside of Isaac Shelley. Wilson's cutting back to the inside of Harrell for the 4th spot. He's able to clear Harrell. Harrell cuts back to the inside. They trade crossovers. Harrell is going to force himself clear. Oh my
Brad
gosh.
wanted to stay to the outside of that number 22 machine, and he had that space taken away from him.
Harrell just squeezed it until he was there. Wolfenbarger and Shelley still battle for the 2nd spot. We got Dalton Hayes dropping back. And caution's out again. So it happens to the 47. Once again, all by himself. Blake Giglio, a
Blake's gonna have
fantastic
damage.
job avoiding him. Blake does have some contact with the outside wall, but
That
he
could be
avoids
significant.
the 47. Oh, he gets
Awesome.
punted by Trevor Trago.
Yeah, I was going to say right off the front bumper of the 91 machine. Lucas, right through the middle of all that.
See what Lucas saw riding through there. There goes Dalton, looping it right in front of him. And here comes Blake right across his nose. Oh my gosh, that had to scare Lucas. Wow. It's right along with Blake through that one. Behind the 9 of JR Deal. Moves to the inside of Deal. Dalton's going to lose it right in front of him. Here he comes down the track. Blake trying to check up. Gets run into the back by Trevor Trago. Wanagoon's car tags Blake Giglio. Shoots him up to the outside wall. Blake has to drive around Cliff. Let's see when he gets on the straight if his wheel's kind of straight or if it's turned. It's a bit of an angle on that wheel for him now. Could be his offset personal choice, but doesn't look great. Giglio on the pit lane. Big dent in the back bumper, but that's not a big deal here at Bristol. More worried about that right side, make sure his suspension's good. So we continue to look at our fast repairs used already. Quite a few gone towards the back of the field. Margison, Downey, Hayes. We'll see if Blake has to take one here or not. Looks like he's just doing damage repair. Don't think he's fast repairing, so he's going to stick with it. Top 14 cars have not been to the pit road at all. Cody Cleaver is the highest up car that's been to the pit lane. He came down 3 laps ago. And that number 2 playoff car topped off the fuel tank, I believe. Finds himself riding in 15th. J Munch, Trevor Trago not been to the pit lane. Lucas Oisma obviously had to come down for the damage. Took a fast repair. He is 18th. Daniel Llewellyn came down, topped off the tank about 15 laps ago. Daniel 19th. Jeremy Scherer front end crumpled on the Circle Chevy. He's riding in 20th. JR Deal front and rear damage on that 9 car. And he's out there giving it a go in 21st. Cliff Mullins, one of the short track aces. He's from Virginia. He loves this style of racing. He's running 22nd. Blake Giglio, after the pit stop, he's coming back down, it looks like. Get some more damage fixed up. He's turning 3rd, still in the lead lap. Dalton Hayes already caused 2 cautions by looping it all by himself. Maybe he'll get it figured out or call it a night, one of the two. Riding in 24th. Zach Margison seems he is done for the night in the 88. Gatlin Downey
taking that car behind the wall.
Gatlin Downey sits on the pit lane still. Damaged vehicle policy not in place in SRL, so he's 7 minutes and counting working on that 05. He'll try to get back out there after he clears his meatball and try to salvage whatever points he can. He is 7 laps behind Margison, so he'll try to at least move up a spot. Got to figure every point counts here in the playoffs. We're getting set for another one of these restarts. We got 3 and 32 on the front row this time. Teammates lined up inside with the 3 and 34. Green and Shelley. Wolfenbarger to the top side. Shenandoah Shine Chevy, and there go the teammates launching about the same time, but the Shenandoah Shine car is on it. Grant Harrell caught sleeping at the wheel. He'll drop back a spot or two. And that is Wolfenbarger hanging on to second. So great job on the restart, even though the teammates had it timed out. Wolfenbarger able to hold off the 34 of Isaac Shelley. And then we go single file back through top 10. Scott Rankin, Matt Benke. Really the first battle, Trenton Steed right there in 11th. He's kept his nose clean so far tonight. Don't want to jinx him, so let's knock on wood real quick. Don't need his
trying to make some ground up after going to pit road. He's going to get by Jeff Price there.
Lawrence working the top side on Trenton Sneed. Trying to take away 11th.
Trenton probably just sitting there like, I don't want to crash, I don't want to crash, I don't want to crash. And can't really blame him. That's biggest thing here tonight is going to be stay out of trouble. Don't make your own trouble. And hopefully you can pull off a good finish because of that.
Shelley able to get around Wolfenbarger, move up to the second spot. Wilson holding off Bryant and Harrell. Almost said it again. Bryant way out of shape.
Moment.
Goodness gracious. Great job saving that race car, Brantley Bryant. And we get our 6th caution. Don't tell me Dalton Hayes a 3rd time.
I may have bad news for you.
Cliff Mullins out of shape, slides up the hill, catches the inside wall, and Dalton gets a Cliff Mullins delivered right on his nose.
At least this one wasn't his fault.
It wasn't Dalton all by himself this time.
It was Cliff all by himself.
Wouldn't even get the incident point for this one as Cliff does uncliff-like things. Loses it coming out of turn 4. Tries to save it. Clips the inside wall just enough that Dalton Hayes gets a special delivery of a 37 car in his lap. That had to be an interesting in-car camera. See if we can see Cliff start to lose it. It's riding behind J.R. Deal is the 47 of Dalton Hayes. There's Cliff out of 4. Starts to lose it. Heads to the inside wall. Dalton gasses it up, trying to get away from it, but here's Cliff just right in the lap of Dalton Hayes. And Dalton goes to the pits with a heavily damaged number 47 Camaro. And will end up falling off the lead lap as he'll go 2 laps down with the field working by.
He was on it trying to get through it without being in it, and he was...
Bad timing.
He was very in it.
He either needed to go a little faster and miss it, or a little slower and miss it the other way. But unfortunately, he was perfectly in the middle. And the 47 got walloped. Do we see pit stops from anyone up towards the front?
Absolutely not.
Do you think they can go to halfway on fuel or what?
With all these cautions, probably. My strategy has always, at these short track races with all these deals, has always been, if I need points, make it to halfway and then pit. Or as soon as the fuel window opens up, pit, and then you stay out the rest of the race with some, some margin of green-white checker in there.
Obviously, with no win in your in, everyone's going to be going for as many points as they can all the time for these 4 races. So it'll be interesting to see. Obviously, the 3 and 34 not in the playoffs, so they can change it up. But anybody underlined in blue has to get as many points as they can, as often as they can.
Yeah, if I'm Thomas Green, Isaac Shelley, I'm thinking as soon as my fuel window opens, I'm going to pit. I'm going to take 4 tires. I'm going to pack this thing full of fuel, and then I'm done with coming to pit road.
Pack up the pit box.
Pit crew, pit crew, and everyone can go home. They can get some ice cream. They can do whatever they want because I'm not coming back down pit road unless I'm in an incident. And for these playoff guys, you get through lap 80 if you're in the top 10. Get your points. If you're outside the top 10, you can probably try to flip it like these guys up front. But if you're in a spot like Wolfenbarger, Brad Wilson, Brantley Bryant, Travis Martin, where you can get significant stage points, you need to take them with this point format. It's not winning you're in. You need those points, like you were saying earlier.
But if you're like a Trevor Trago or a Blake Giglio back 18th and 20th, I think the strategy is to flip it since they're probably not getting stage points here.
Exactly.
They can pit as soon as the window opens and try to stay out for the track position and flip the field, try to get the points at the end of the race because obviously they're not getting halfway points. All right, set for the restart. Pace car is about to head down pit lane. There it goes. We got teammates front row, Green and Shelley. Green choosing bottom this time, gets clear. Wolfenbarger hangs there inside Isaac Shelley. And teammates not playing the restart as normal, but still I think top lane's going to prevail here. Isaac Shelley going to get clear and hang on to second. Now Wolfenbarger has teammate Brad Wilson trying to look for third.
Wilson to the inside of his Shenandoah Shine teammate.
He ran the Harvick line there. Did you see that? Wrapped the bottom.
He was right around that asphalt in 1 and 2. That was about as perfect as you're going to get it. All these cars kind of migrating towards the bottom, trying to save that tire.
Only difference between that and the actual Harvick line is that Harvick would always dip the tires onto the asphalt at the corner exit just to get it to rotate.
And there's some rotation from the 32. He gets way loose out of turn number 4.
Still pulls away from the 51 doing it, so that's damn impressive. Here comes Travis Martin trying to break the top 5 as we get another caution.
It was not Dalton Hayes.
It was not Dalton Hayes. It was J Munch. Does he do it alone or does he get help? Let's see. On the inside of the 5 and 22. Off the corner. I don't know. That turned around really fast. And he broke the motor, had the tow.
I think there was netcode from the 22.
Yep, there is netcode. Because you actually see a little right rear damage on it.
I think the damage was there before, but yeah, but the way that car snaps.
It's so fast. It's not getting loose. That's yeah.
I think there's contact there.
According to iRacing. With the netcode. Not actual contact.
And I think we're going to need to start adding a netcode counter to these broadcasts.
Might have to. It's getting ridiculous. Come on, iRacing. Fix your shit.
Allegedly, a couple months ago, they hired one of the leading techs in netcode something. I don't know. Some weird. Lucas just hit the barrels.
What?
As I'm trying to explain something, Lucas just hit the barrels.
Oh, what in the world? Did he lose focus? Well, I have football on Tuesday night, so I don't know what that's about.
Yeah, I'm at a loss for words.
Severely damaged the right front on that Sunny D Ford.
This is after he's taken his fast repair.
Yikes. That right front completely locked up, as you see on the video there.
I have no words. I was trying to use a lot of words to explain. Lucas is Alt F Ford. Lucas is done. Your top seed in the playoffs.
That is a shocking development. Lucas Hoytsma gets a meatball entering the pits. Lack of focus or something. Drives it right into the barrels in the right front on that Sunny D Ford. Torn off and out he goes of this race. Wow. That was not expected.
I was trying to say that iRacing hired some netcode expert and he just drove into the barrels. Have you ever?
No, I've never. Wow. I got nothing.
Under green is one thing, but like, this is under yellow.
Slow rolling under caution, and that takes out Lucas Hoytsma, the #1 seed coming in the playoffs. Absolutely uncanny. Cody Cleaver down in 21st. Blake Giglio's 20th, so a few of our playoff guys struggling. Trevor Trago, I think he's biding his time with track position, currently 16th.
We've also lost J Munch.
Joel
He's
Muncher.
taking that car behind the wall.
I'm trying to specifically look at our playoff contenders. Gatlin Downey, of course, 32 laps down and counting, still working on his meatball. If he can get back into this race and complete, I don't know, what do you think, 20, maybe 30 laps, he could pick up 4 positions. So
Certainly possible. Every point is going to matter here, especially now that your #1 seed has taken the car behind the wall. That's going to open up a lot in these playoffs.
He's going to have to work on using that #1 seed. He had all those extra points from that. He's going to have to hope that's enough to get him through with the issue here tonight. As Green and Shelley get us resumed racing starting lap 57. Wolfenbarger, Wilson, Bryant, your top 5. Mike Edwards working on Travis Martin, teammates battling for 6th. Wolfenbarger and Wilson. Wilson just brushed the wall on the front stretch.
That top line kind of looks like it's starting to get really dominant as cars decide that the speed is more important than the longevity of these tires.
All these short runs they're getting, they haven't really used any tire yet.
On the screen out here, still running 14.8s. So less than a tenth off of his qualifying time. When we're on lap 16, he hasn't been to pit road.
Time to start taking a look at things like your positioning in the top 10, because
Here comes Isaac Shelley for the race lead at the bottom of the racetrack on that number 3 Bud machine.
we are working lap 61, less than 20 full laps here from the halfway points. These top two don't give any cares about points at all. Guys like Lucas are probably hoping that these two take all the stage points here and limit the amount of points that his competitors can get.
Side by side across the line, Thomas Green is using every inch of racetrack off of turn 4 there. I think he got the wall. But Isaac Shelley making slow progress, inch by inch along the bottom, and that's how you're going to have to make passes on the bottom. It's going to be inch by inch. You're not going to get it all done at once. And Isaac is going to lead that lap.
So many jokes, so little time about your inch by inches.
Exactly. 15-second laps here. It's not a whole lot of time to make very large jokes.
Really good battle here. Topside seems to be the way to go, holding off the inside's advances, but Wolfenbarger's down there, I think, trying to conserve a little bit of tire.
And here we go. Wolfenbarger's going to go to the middle, try to get a little bit of cleaner on that nose, cut down, exit at turn 4. I think the rears on that 34 machine are starting to go away.
Oh, the 3 gets out of shape. Oh, they're making contact. Shelley takes the lead. Wolfenbarger may lose third. Brad Wilson, full head of steam coming into that group as they were trying to not crash. It was a really good job of Wolfenbarger and Green not to crash at the front of the field.
That was a really good job. Looks like the bottom is a little loose, or maybe it's just the 3 machine burning off that right rear tire.
Ghostman working on Brantley Bryant, try to crack the top 5.
Thomas again loose and gets a bad run out of turn 4. Brad Wilson's going to throw a slider.
Action all over this track right now as we get some green flag running, which is fantastic to see.
Side by side for that second position with 2 Shine cars, both in the playoffs. Not what Lucas Hoitzma wants to see.
He's probably pretty happy. Shelley's out front, though. Brantley Bryant able to use the top to hold off Travis Martin's advances, and now Grant Harrell gets around Travis Martin.
Travis immediately back up to the top side of the racetrack and grazes the wall there on corner entry.
Now Harrell's going after the 52 of Bryant. Takes his Mustang all the way bottom of the racetrack, trying to clear the super on corner exit, not able to get there. Oh, Bryant bounces off the wall. They make a little door contact, according to the netcode, as you see the 22 shake to the side a little bit, but they survive it. Harrell takes over that 5th spot. Bryant down to 6th. Closing in on halfway, 10 to go.
Isaac Shelley with a 1.3 second lead over 2 Shine cars, then Thomas Green 4th, Harrell 5th. Bryant, another playoff contender, 6th. Travis Martin, Michael Edwards, Trenton Sneed, Trevor Trego, all playoff cars and in the top 10, looking for stage points, coming to 8 to go in the stage.
We got a spinner, it sounds like. Matt Benke is around in the Skittles machine, and there is caution on the Speedway. That's going to set up a dash for the stage points. Matt Benke, such a good qualifying run. Been running up in the top 10, but gets up and into the wall, comes down off the wall, right into the lap of Cliff Mullins. And that spins the 35 Skittles car all the way around.
Jeff Bryant's doing a good job not hitting those barrels. He was very close to with Cliff Mullins coming down the track there. Kept it straight.
Let's check out the BCF machine. He gets into Cliff a little bit, but I think that actually saves both of them from the barrels.
It very well might have.
Lucas said he was checking tires on pit entry and was not paying attention. Report from the 97 team. So lack of focus as he was working the pit strategy with his crew chief. And unfortunately, 97 into the barrels. As we get pit stops here, right around halfway, cars that don't care about points are hitting the pit road, but some that should care about points are also hitting the pit road. I think they're banking on into race points, not so much halfway. I'm sure we'll see a mixed strategy.
I'm thinking, yeah, you're... Oh no, the 34 with a penalty for passing the pace car.
Can't do that. So easy to do when you peel off the racetrack. He's passing it again, but it doesn't count at this point. You're already past the yellow cone. You cannot beat the pace car to that yellow cone, and if you do it, you pick up a penalty.
The 34 are going to be going to the rear, unfortunately. Oh, no.
So on the racetrack, Grant Harrell stays out, and he's not running for points. So that's a little surprising that he stays out. Mike Edwards, well, Grant pitted about 30 laps ago, so not too surprising. Mike Edwards, no surprise, he's staying out. He's got to get as many stage points as he can, along with the 91 of Trevor Trago. They're second and third now. Scott Rankin, teammate to the 91, runs in fourth, so he's going to try and help him out by taking some points away from other drivers. Quinn Newton in the playoffs in the fifth spot, and that's 712 Brake Chevrolet. Isaac Shelley,
especially, really going to enjoy those points as he was the 12th and final seed in the playoffs, minus 12 from the final four. So these points are going to be really good.
Just about everyone else pit. So this is interesting because the cars that pit are still going to be up here for points. Shelley obviously doesn't matter. You said going to get a penalty, but still sits in sixth and not dropping to the tail of the field.
Yeah, I'm guessing that sitting there protesting it, hoping it's going to get cleared, but that's not something that was cleared earlier in this season, and albeit in another series. But can't pass the pace car.
22 wants to stop and restart.
So we'll see how that plays out. Meanwhile, Brad Wilson 7th, Thomas Green 8th, Garrett Wolfenbarger 9th, and Brantley Bryant 10th. So 3 Shine cars all pit and still back out in position to get stage points.
That flag's not going to get cleared.
Unfortunately, it's not going to because it's what trucks did, and it's got to be uniform. So
unless the penalty isn't an EOL, is the penalty a drive-through?
It might be.
That's gonna almost, end the night for that number 34 machine.
Unless we get the rash of caution. But yeah, it's not going to go well for a while. It's going to take a lot of help. All right, we're going to have a 2-lap shootout, 4 stage points here. Grant Harrell, takes off. Mike Edwards second. Trevor Trago trying to hold off the 49 of Scott Rankin. Those are teammates, so you think Scott will try to do his best to protect the 41, or the 91, excuse me.
Doesn't seem to so far. He's going to make the 91 fight for those stage points.
Oh, Quinn Newton's around.
Oh, no. Brantley Bryant. Brad Wilson.
Oh, Wilson hard into the 34 of Isaac Shelley. And that is some rough news for the Shenandoah Shine crew, as 2 of their cars involved in this accident, and I'm still not sure what even happened.
Shelley taking blame over the radio, but I could go off on another tangent here on the contact model. I don't think that's what should happen with that piece of contact, but a little bit of netcode there as well. Just 34 coming down the racetrack into the number 5 machine, and it sends the 5 around for some reason. I don't know.
Contact with the front end of the 5, and it turns the 5 rapidly. A bit of a bizarre situation. And then Brad Wilson, heavy damage to that 51. That's almost assuredly a fast repair for him.
Blake Giglio getting through it again, trying to get some track position any way he can.
Blake just comes to a stop at the back of this field. Quinn Newton is in position to get some really good stage points, but around he goes, and we're actually at the end of stage, so we'll have to see what plays out here. It gives Harrell 10 points, Edwards 9, Trago 8, Rankin 7, Green 6, Wolfenbarger 5, Martin 4, Sneed 3, Wallen 2, and Cliff Mullins gets the final stage point. Wow. That was unexpected. Wild.
We're 50% there. Harrell the pit road this time, but he passed the pace car again.
Why do we keep doing this?
I figured pit road was going to be closed this time by. I don't know. Lots of head scratching moments because I saw Mikey already came down pit road. So I'm kind of confused.
Apparently the drivers are as well. Bristol really causing some head scratching moments here. You see the 52 Brantley Bryant sitting on the pit lane. Bryant's going to go a lap down fixing her number 52 machine. Let's take a look back at the faster fares once again, see who still has them and who's burned them. Bryant already used his, so he's sitting there taking damage. That's rough for Bryant, but he probably try to fix as much as he can under yellow. Hopefully he doesn't have a meatball, but if he does, that's going to be a big problem for the 52 machine.
Isaac Shelley has confirmed over the radio that it is indeed a drive-through penalty, which wouldn't be as big of a deal if we had dual pit roads here tonight, but we don't. This is one single pit road all the way around this half-mile racetrack, which he's going to have to do at 35 miles an hour.
Probably go 3 laps down under green. If not more, that's rough.
Yeah, at least, I would think at least 3. He's pleading for maybe an EOL instead, but, I mean...
Can't really change that mid-season. Faster fares coming off the board quick here all of a sudden.
Thomas Green made his way back up to the race lead.
All the cars that stayed out last time pit this time. Thomas Green, Garrett Wolfenbarger at the front. Travis Martin, Trenton Sneed, Daniel O'Wallen, your top 5.
Jeff Price, Cliff Mullins, Cody Cleaver, Brad Wilson, who's in that wreck, and Matt Benke, your top 10. After all of that attrition, same cars back up front.
I wouldn't say same cars. Travis Martin's not been in the top 3 all night. Trenton Sneed hasn't been in the top 5 all night, and Daniel O'Wallen's 5th. That is not the same cars as we've been seeing. The only ones that are the same are Green and Wolfenbarger out front.
2 of those cars have been in the back half of the top 10 all night, so it's not like they're new contenders. They're farther forward.
Daniel O'Wallen's going to lose it all by himself. Coming out of turn number 4, spins to the inside wall.
Triggers
And
a
caution number 10.
He clipped the apron, according to the number 23 machine.
Let's watch.
And he definitely didn't. He did it all by himself.
Daniel O'Wallen loses the back end all by himself. As we like to say in Sidewinder, tripped over his own dick. Drops back to the 18th spot, last car in lead lap. Run up in the top 5.
Bring him up here.
Oh no. Interview at your own risk.
This is Hayden and Swiss up in the booth. You got me?
Yeah, what's up? I don't know. I just lost. I thought I clipped the apron, but it didn't look like I did on the stream.
No, you definitely did not. But Lucas said pre-race these cars felt way different than any other race we've done here at Xfinity. Do you feel the same thing?
Yeah, just got to be easy, and these are cold tires. I just put a new set on, so I usually got to wait until I get about 5 laps on them.
Yeah, I was going to ask if cold tires feel drastically different than warm tires here tonight, but I'm guessing the answer there is a yes. How's fuel? Can you guys make it to the end on fuel from here?
Oh yeah, we don't need fuel. We're good to go now.
All right, well, get back out there.
We all wish you was out here. You know, we miss you.
No, you don't.
Daniel, lying in your interview is bad form.
I'd never lie.
Oh,
shit. I got a minute 51 out of that bullshit.
Damn. Have you tried
That's
not
what you
tripping
get
over
for
your own
lying.
dick?
Well, you know, when when you get old, it starts hanging lower.
It's a saggage. Gravity
Yeah,
always
it's
wins. Gravity always wins. All right. Well, congrats on your self spin there and being in the top 5 briefly and getting some interview time.
Hey, we got to get it some way or another. But we still miss you, Hayden.
Bullshit.
Good times. All right. Get out of here.
Yeah, I moved him as soon as I said bullshit. All right, well, a little bit of a reset here. We're coming up on 70 laps to go. Thomas Green, Garrett Wolfenbarger is your first playoff car. Then Travis Martin, Trenton Sneed, also playoff contenders. Jeff Price moving up into the top 5. Good for him. Cody Cleaver in that 6th spot, also a playoff machine.
I have a
Brad
breaking
Wilson.
news. Breaking news.
Uh-oh.
Brantley Bryant has just retired from the
Oh.
race. So that's 2 playoff cars out of tonight's race. They're going to finish back in the 20s.
Bryant, I believe, came in at or just below the cut line as I pull up points
He was 1006. Wilson was at the line at 1013. So that's brains out. 7 points back.
That is, yes, 7 points below the cut. Brad Wilson's still out there. Blake Giglio's still out there. Garrett Wolfenbarger's still out there. But he's definitely going to lose, I would assume, lose points to the cut line. Is Travis Martin also still out there? Trenton Sneed, Mikey, also in good spots. Lucas, though, that's really going to shake things up with Lucas falling out.
We'll have to check it out at the end of the race tonight. Definitely going to be some comers and goers with this situation we're dealing with 2 playoff cars out of the race. Blake Giglio back in 17th hasn't really taken advantage of it much. Mike Edwards 14th. Newton is bouncing between 11th and 12th. Gatlin Downey out of this one as well. So 3 playoff drivers having the struggle tonight. Gatlin's not officially out. He's been on pit lane 33 minutes. So he should be getting back out there soon. We get the restart. Green leaves Wolfenbarger, Martin 3rd, and then Martin and Price battle for that 4th spot. Welcome on in, Ghost. Thank you for the follow as we watch. Oh, was that the 14 or Scott Rankin the 49? 49 is around. And we get our 11th caution very quickly. What happened to the 49? Well, it was the 14 and the 49 together. There you go. Let's break out the drones, see if there was maybe netcode that sends the 49.
Yes.
100%. Netcode turns the 49, and iRacing really needs to get their shit fixed. They're ruining our fun. Unfortunate.
What is that? 4 tonight?
At least 4 of these cautions brought out by pure netcode. Just unbelievable. Normally it's not this bad at Bristol, but man, it has been brutal tonight.
We're sure we didn't put this server up in like Australia?
No, them people be phasing through one another. Right, Beta? We need a netcode command for every time netcodes ruin something. If you want to make that command, you go right ahead, my friends. So I believe we're done pitting, right?
Yeah, absolutely. If you're up front, Thomas Green, pack at the pit box, send everybody home. We're not pitting again.
Isaac Shelley fans, he was able to get that penalty served and now is getting the lucky dog back onto the lead lap. A lot of track position to make up, but those of you that are fans of Isaac Shelley will be able to watch that car come up through the field. He'll be restarting 19th as the lucky dog.
We are racing on an Ohio server tonight, so maybe...
That's the usual.
So, maybe, I don't know, blame Ohio.
Yeah, that's the usual. I mean, we always blame Ohio. Ohio sucks. There's nothing good about Ohio. The only good thing about Ohio is leaving Ohio.
Which raises the question on why were you ever there in the first place?
To get from Virginia to Indiana.
That's fair.
Yep. Done it many times. So I have plenty of family
you could
in
still
Indiana.
avoid it if you wanted to. It's only going to add, what, a few hours?
A few hours is way too many in a 14-hour drive.
14, 18, what's the difference?
A lot. Someone who's driven from Richmond to Evansville a number of times. Trust me. Thomas is Ethan Evers' new favorite driver, of course, running the Bud scheme out there. No surprise Ethan Evers wetting his pants over the announcement today. I dare say Ethan Evers got moist reading that news release. Although technically it's not the right paint scheme. This is his rookie car. 2002 with the stripes down the side like that. And I am a nerd for knowing that. He said it's extremely moist, is the report from Ethan Evers' camp.
I am not shocked in the slightest. As soon as I saw that line get released, I'm like, yep, there's probably a dozen or so drivers in SRL that are now broke.
Nope. Cody, not shocking at all, pre-ordered the autographed late model car.
Andrew Beach said he's going to do the same.
As soon as he gets money enough, yeah.
There's 2. I'm sure Ethan will probably do the same. There's 3.
Ethan, I pre-ordered one of everything. God.
I want the job Ethan's working, if he can get one of everything.
Dale Jr. just made so much money. Alright, we're about a lap away from getting resumed here. Field works our way down the back stretch. I think we're all done pitting, so all of it is from here is muscling for track position and praying you don't get turned. Or spin yourself.
I could see if we get a 20-25 lap run, some guys towards the back and they choose to take some tires. But otherwise, yeah, Thomas Green, I'm 99% sure is done pitting.
And we get resumed. Coming to start lap 99. Green jumps out in front of Wolfenbarger. Martin clears the 3rd. Price clears in 4th. Trenton Sneed battles the 2 of Cody Cleaver. playoff contenders try to figure out who's going to hold on fifth. Brad Wilson trying to figure out which one to follow. Cliff Mullins right there behind him, 37, just narrowly missed the playoffs. He was a bit disappointed by that, but he is still out there giving it a go in 8th. The race started horribly for him, but he's up in the top 10. Wilson around the outside of Trenton Sneed. He'll take over 6th.
Oh, we're looking 3 wide back here with Blake Giglio. Wisely, they figure it back out and get to 2.
Thank you,
Harold
Trago.
Giglio side by side.
Him just in front of them, the 2 red machines. I know it looks like it at times, certain angles, but that Skittles car not in the playoffs, even though he's got that blue stripe right up at the front of the windshield. That's just part of the paint scheme. Funny how that worked out. Oh, Cliff Mullins is tripping over himself, and Grant Harrell gets into it as well. Blake Giglio, Mike Edwards going around, and we get them stacked up at lap 102. I couldn't tell which car really started that. Kind of like 3 of them all got out of shape at once.
I'm gonna
Watch it again.
Cliff Mullins at the front of this gets loose.
At the same time, Matt Benke gets loose. The 2 of them break out of shape at the same time.
They come down into the spinning Cliff Mullins. They all get together. Cliff's rear end goes up in the air, sticking that ass up.
Nose down, ass
Giglio.
up. That's the way Cliff likes to race.
Blake Giglio, Michael Edwards, nowhere to go.
Oh, Blake didn't have too much damage till he hit Matt Benke right in the tire. Then his hood pops up, and then it magically clocks back down. Meanwhile, Grant Harrell's hood's flying through the air. Watch out for that debris. We got a holy shit moment from the 9. I'm guessing his camera's going to be pretty good riding through here. Let's go back and check it out. Joink, joink. Oh my gosh. Oh, Jake Lawrence goes up and into the outside wall right in front of him to start the whole damn thing. Meanwhile, the wreck up ahead, you see Cliff Mullins hop up in the air. There's Matt Benke around. There's Mike Edwards slamming into it. Quinn Newton, a lot of playoff contenders in that. And the C's just part for the 9 as he just drives right through the middle with his brother's face on his hood. Good times.
He was going to be in that until he wasn't. That is impressive.
All right. Quite a few takers on the pit road. I mean, quite a few. Trenton coming down in the Treon Technologies Camaro. Cliff Mullins, Blake Giglio, Grant Harrell, Mike Edwards, and Scott Rankin. All of those in incidents recently. And here comes the Matt Benke machine, Quinn Newton. All of those with race damage from this contact here. 11 cars stay out, including Daniel Llewellyn, as he gets half his track position he gave away back, although he's coming to the pit lane now. So no more staying out for him. Jake Lawrence also hitting the pit lane. J.R. Deal stays out, and he's up to 9th. Isaac Shelley 8th. Trevor Trago in 7th. Cody Cleaver 6th. Brad Wilson 5th. Jeff Price 4th. Travis Martin 3rd. Garrett Wolfenbarger in 2nd. And Thomas Green is your leader in that Dale Jr. Bud car with the number 3, so he's doing it for both Dales tonight.
Well, we've already talked to Thomas Green because he was our pole sitter. Should we go grab the number 32?
Hell yeah.
All right. Garrett, this is Hayden Swiss up in the booth. You got us?
Yeah, I got you.
All right, well, you've been running second most of the night. Seems like you have a fast car. Just, I think you can get up front. Do you just need laps, or what do you need?
I just need to get past the restart where he gets that jump, and then I'll catch him. I mean, I was kind of watching the replay back. You guys didn't see it, but I was on his inside. We got a little tangled up and got on his inside. I thought I was in front of him when the yellow came out, but unfortunately, he didn't give it to me. So hopefully we just have a good restart here and get on around green and go win this race.
And am I correct to assume you're all done pitting?
Well, you know, good on gas, so as long as we don't... Oh, he's picking the top. Interesting. Alright, well, I mean, yeah, I'm pretty sure we're just done. Hopefully just run these tires out, stay up front, and don't react like my teammates.
Like, even if you get a caution in about, I don't know, 10 laps, 15 laps, I think tires just not enough to come through the pack. What do you think?
That's a tough call. I have to talk to my Bradley and see what he thinks, but I don't think so.
Well, currently he's thinking that the 51 sucks, as he just put in Twitch chat, so there you go. That's what he's thinking.
Alright.
At least he said 51 and not 32, right?
Hey, right?
Alright, bud. Good luck.
Yep, thanks.
I'll come back down there in the chat before we go green. Pace car going to make that hard left turn. He gets a good restart next to that number 3 machine. Only a car length this time.
Travis Martin trying to hang on to 3rd as he closes in on the back of the 32. Jeff Price trying to run that high line and hang on the outside of Mr. Ghostman. Jeff Price, good to see him have a good run. He's just had such horrible luck in that 39 car.
He really has. He's side by side, very even with Travis Martin now on that faster high line. Wolfenbarger and Thomas Green up in front of him running the bottom, saving a little bit of tire in case it does happen to matter later.
And Price going to clear for third, so move him up into the top 3. Jeff Price having himself a good run tonight. Travis Martin's trying to fight back on that inside lane.
I think Jeff kind of knows that he's not going to be able to compete with the 32 and the 3 in terms of tire saving, so go up there and get your track position.
JR Deal losing it in the background. And that number 9 had made his way up there, and as we've seen time and time again tonight, just losing the back end, comes down and hits Trenton Sneed in the nose. Hopefully the 81 doesn't pick up a meatball from that as he gets hit right on the right front.
Maybe it's enough on the door. He's going to avoid anything major, but we'll see if that 81 machine does come down pit lane.
JR Deal doing what we've seen so many drivers do tonight, losing it all by themselves.
Oh no, the right front is locked up on the 81.
81 struggling to limp that car around. Let's see if he still has his fast repair, because this could be big trouble. He already used it, so the 81 is in big trouble. Trenton Sneed, unfortunately, going to have to go many laps down fixing this.
He didn't mean to use his quick repair earlier in the race. It was an accidental usage.
Oh no, that's even worse. That makes you feel real stupid. I've done that a few times, and oh man, that's just it eats you up.
I have mine unchecked by default for this reason. It can bite you in the ass the other way.
Yeah, if you tow and then don't have it checked.
I'd rather it bite me that way than this way.
Fair enough. JR Deal and Trenton Sneed both make it to the pit lane. Well, that is brutal for another one of our playoff contenders. Trenton going to have to take several laps to fix that car. Quinn Newton, it's good news for him. Gets him back on the lead lap.
And if you think Bristol's a wild card, wait 2 weeks for Talladega.
Jeff Price brings it to the pit lane. That's shocking. I thought we were all done with most of those cars up towards the front, but apparently not.
I guess Jeff decided he wanted tires.
All the way up to the 3rd spot. I don't get it. Had the track position he needed.
With 20 cars on the lead lap, I would be surprised if he digs himself out of this hole with 46 laps to go.
It'll take a lot of luck, for sure. Avoiding the chaos. Meanwhile, Isaac Shelley served the penalty under green, got a wave around, and is up to the 5th spot in that 34 car. And has one of the better, freshest, most recent pit stops, we'll say it that way, out of the whole top 5. So, interesting.
Trenton Sneed has decided that damage is not worth repairing. He has taken that car behind the garage, so add that to the playoff pile behind the wall.
In about 12 laps, Dalton Hayes would pass him to knock him out of the top 20. Gatlin Downey never came back onto the track. 45 minutes and counting for Gatlin Downey. That's more than enough time to fix most damage. I mean, normally it's what, 34, 35, 36 is the maximum you'll see.
I wonder if that was an engine popped.
Oh, engine pops, that's what I'm saying. That's usually half an hour. And we're at 45 minutes.
I think you can get up to 50 minutes or so.
I've not seen it that high.
I don't know. I could be remembering wrong. It's been a long time since I've chosen to sit through one of those.
I've sat through many of them, I share. It's usually 34 minutes, 36, somewhere in that range. So unsure why the 05 has not returned to action. Still sits there on the pit lane.
Thomas Green mixing it up again, taking what seems like every other lane, every other restart.
You know, I realized what Gatlin could be doing. He could be also fixing the optionals.
Just get it all fixed and be done. Totally could.
Yep, that could be what he's doing. And there you go. As I mentioned him, he is down and away in the 05, so he is returning to the race. About 6 laps, he'll pick up Margison another, 25. He could pick up J Munch, another 30. He can pick up Hoytsmith, so he's got a few spots he can grab here. I don't think Brantley Bryant 22nd's within reach, but he can move all the way up to 23rd, pick up 3 spots. Never know when those points are going to matter. As we get the restart here, the 3 of green clears. Wolfenbarger on the restart from the bottom. Wilson and Martin going to battle for 3rd. Couple of Fords going at it.
Side by side into turn 3. The 51 just edging out in front ever so slightly. He's going to get the run off the top side, and here comes Isaac Shelley. Trying to follow that 51 machine through on the top side, and it's not quite going to work. Travis is digging on the bottom. He doesn't want to give that spot up at all.
He knows track position is so key in these races.
Behind Shelley, they're side by side. That's Cleaver and Harrell. Cleaver, a playoff car marked by those blue banners on the windshield, spoiler, and front splitter.
And rear window, just for good
And
measure.
rear window.
Now
Because we
Wilson
could.
clears Martin, and Shelley's going to go after the 4 spot on the top side. Battle for the lead. Wolfenbarger gets almost completely ahead on that inside lane. Just couldn't quite clear the 3. I think he really sent it in there. Thomas Green runs a middle line that time. A little surprising. Keeps the 32 pinched down. And here comes Wilson. They could make this a 3-car battle for the lead if the 3 runs the middle again, because Wilson's been very happy on the top. Travis Martin gets way out of shape in the 63. Loses himself a couple spots. Here comes Isaac Shelley. Oh!
4 cars under a blanket. These have arguably been the 4 best cars all night. Wolfenbarger is going to try to get clear, and he's just going to take the spot. New race leader.
Thomas Green got in the back of him, pushed him a little bit at the end of the straightaway, but 32, Wolfenbarger hangs on to it. He's going to get loose, and there's the contact. Thomas Green into the inside wall, 14th caution. Thomas Green
Doesn't bounce back up onto the racetrack.
Here's the contact into the 32, hits him into the corner. And then we watch. He's going to get spun around, and then I don't think that one's netcode. I think he got loose trying to push too hard, and then I believe the 51 of Wilson gets into him.
I think there's netcode on the right front with Garrett Wolfenbarger, and that sends that car around. And he starts to save it, and then, yeah, unfortunately, Brad Wilson into the back of him with nowhere to go, and that finishes him off.
Oh, yeah, there is netcode between the 32 and 3 on that right front. I thought you were talking about from behind.
No, the right front to get the spin started. Ay.
It's one of the best cars all night. Thomas Green to the rear of the field with only 35 laps to go. That's a tough hill to dig out of at Bristol.
He's going to have the opportunity, though, to come on in and pit for tires just like Travis Martin's doing.
He got real loose on that run. You saw his back end sliding every which way. I think he feels like he was going to fall back anyway, so he's going to go ahead and take this opportunity to slap 4 fresh tires on it and try to dig for about 30 laps once we get going again and hope for the best.
We'll see what it can do. I'm just not totally sold on that strategy. I don't feel like we run a whole lot of green flag laps to make it worth it. Because, well, Jeff Price, who came down that last time with 20 cars on the lead lap, he's up to 13th.
A lot of cars pit with him, so that's a good thing for Price.
Less cars, though, with the 63.
Yep, he'll have to pass all those cars, including Price, who stays out. He'll probably wish he came down a pit stop sooner. Quinn Newton came down the pit lane. That'll help, as did Cliff Mullins, so there's 2 cars he won't have to pass. Jeremy Scherer looks like he's heading to the pit lane now, so that's another one that won't have to pass. 19 cars on the lead lap. 21 cars still running. Dalton Hayes 21st, 16 laps down, and Gatlin Downey 89 laps down and 25th, but he's going to try and pick up a couple more spots. He's already passed Margison. He'll probably be able to get to Jay Munch and Lucas Heusma before it's all said and done and move up to 23rd.
I'm not going to put Brantley out of range yet. If we get some green-white checkers, could get to that 22nd spot and gain, what would that be, 4 points from where he was at?
Yeah, 4 points. Never know when that's going to matter.
Exactly. 4 points could easily be the difference.
Isaac Shelley up to 3rd after serving a green flag penalty for passing the pace car. How crazy is that? Excellent recovery from the 34. Way to not just bitch about it. Get out there, grab the wheel, and do something about it. All the way back up to 3rd. You love to see that.
Very nice recovery from that 34 machine. Guessing got bailed out by a caution while he was on pit road.
100%.
Certainly going to help.
He only went 1 lap down because of that. Yep.
So good on the number 34. Who I still see as a number 71, but trading paints is dumb.
It's just you. You're special.
Oh, we know I'm special.
It's not even. Your trading paints is probably working just fine, and for some reason your brain is interpreting this as a 71 car.
It's specifically my brain.
Blame
my
Hayden.
monitor is showing a 34.
You see some left rear damage on that 51, but I don't think that'll matter too much to you.
I don't think it will either. Aerodynamics is not a huge deal here. It's really more engine that's going to hurt you.
All right, top 2 Shenandoah Shine cars jump out to the lead. Isaac Shelley holding off Grant Harrell. And then you have Blake Giglio, Mike Edwards up into the top 6. Cody Cleaver just behind. Trevor Trago. Bunch of playoff cars starting to rise to the top. The only exceptions in the top 8 are Shelley and Harrell. Blake Giglio to the bottom of the 22. Trying to get his Kenworth W9000 moving up through the grid. So we get a momentary blink out of Harrell. Shelley putting the pressure on Brad Wilson. 30 laps to go from Bristol Motor Speedway.
It's go time. You gotta go get him while you can under green.
Ooh, almost contact. That was close between Giglio and Harrell. You know that turned Giglio earlier in the race. A little bit of net code, and there it is again. Replay. Blake Giglio with the net code into the inside wall. Second time tonight, and he has got to be livid underneath that helmet.
Oh boy, net code. It's
a tough pill to swallow. I mean, you got to feel for Blake in that situation.
Blake doing absolutely nothing wrong. Just getting...
His second time tonight. I mean, identical replay there. Same exact situation. Coming off the corner, iRacing decides the front of that car got contact and shoots him into the inside wall. And man, oh man, I mean, I know Blake's won a lot and some people love to hate him for it, but as a racer, you got to feel for him there.
Yeah, just super unfortunate to see. If we're going to be picky, maybe he was expecting Harold to be another half car width up. You can see right at the moment of contact, the 22 is just a little bit lower than that 34 out in front, who's a little bit lower than the 51. But again, that's being picky. Netcode here really is what screws Blake's race.
I mean, ideally they would just make door contact and carry on with their day.
Right, they should just be able to door and continue on, and they would be totally fine. But netcode, and I think the whole contact and physics model needs a rework here, because some of these are just quite frankly they're ridiculous.
That's rough. I feel for Blake there, and I mean I'm not a fan of Blake winning everything, but you know, as I said, as a racer, you got to feel that's rough.
With 25 laps to go now, any kind of recovery for Blake is going to be based on other drivers getting in incidents and being able to miss them, which it's not gone well for Blake tonight, but I don't know, maybe the luck will swing.
I mean, once is ridiculous, and that's twice for him tonight.
I'm just going to say this and put this out here. Jeff's up to 9th.
Yep.
It's certainly interesting to see him moving up through the field. We both kind of wrote him off, but if he's up to 9th, and I know some of that is other cars having problems, but...
The problem I'm seeing here is you basically got to get back to 3rd to even break even. So he's still got a long way to go.
That's the issue.
Now, it's not to say Shelley, Harrell, Edwards, those cars couldn't have passed him under green, but... I don't know. Hard to say.
I'm guessing Jeff thought that he wasn't going to beat those guys straight up. So he's like, we'll throw a Hail Mary here, and it's...
Is he in chat to ask?
He's got a chance.
Is he in chat to ask? That'd be a fun interview.
That is a good question. I'm not sure we're going to have enough time left in... We'll see if we get a 1-to-go signal here from the pace car.
Yeah, plenty of time.
And we are getting a 1-to-go signal. So we'll leave Jeff for now. We get another caution. We'll go talk to him. We'll talk to her.
Pansy, should have talked to him now.
30 seconds ain't quite enough.
It is if you talk fast. You talk too much, that's the problem.
Seconds, sorry. Yeah, I do talk too much. Alright, front row, Shenandoah Shine teammates. Garrett Wolfenbarger picking the outside, Brad Wilson on the inside. After that is 34 Isaac Shelley, and then Grant Harrell making up second row. Playoff drivers, Mike Edwards and Cody Cleaver making up row 3.
Trevor Trago sitting there in 8th. Another one of our playoff cars. So playoff guys littered throughout the top 10.
And we're back green. Teammates look like they counted each other down. That or Brad Wilson gets a phenomenal restart.
He got a shot in the back from Isaac Shelley on that restart, and I think that actually helped him keep up with the 32.
Oh, Brad clipped the apron a little bit. That's going to give the 32 the momentum.
Almost slid up the hill and into the 32. Fortunately able to avoid the contact, but the teammates racing hard here for this win. Is the 34 Shelley and the 22 of Grant Harrell both clipped the outside wall. Mike Edwards trying to move into 4th off the contact. Hopefully he doesn't get the Grant Harrell net code, because we've seen it time and time again underneath the 22.
Shelley trying desperately to get to the outside quarter panel of that number 51 machine. And it's just not quite working out yet. Someone's going to have to go to the bottom and make something happen, and they're going to have to do it sooner rather than later.
Takes a lot of time to make a pass on the inside lane.
Ooh, 31 into the back of the 51, and that's just hurting them both. It's really just hurting them both because the 32
Driving
has
away.
gone to the top. Yeah, and is
three
starting to
tenths
drive
out.
away.
Shelley lost the back end there coming out of turn number 2. Allows a bit of a gap between Wilson and Shelley. And we're single file all of a sudden, all the way back to Jeff Price, Travis Martin, the whole top 10 really.
Right, here we go. Brad Wilson starting to try something. Brad's gone to the bottom in 1 and 2. We'll see what he does in 3 and 4. He's going to try the bottom again in 3 and 4 because he can't follow the 32 and expect to beat him. He's got to try something different. 18 to go.
Harrell in the 22s also moved down to the bottom, but he's this time running the middle lane, about a car length inside the 34. Guess trying to keep air on the nose. Mike Edwards trying to take advantage to get to his outside when he does it.
Wolfenbarger has countered, and he's gone back to the bottom. So now if you're Brad Wilson, go to the top. Yep, there he goes. He went to the top. Kind of ducking down on exit. Kind of running a Kyle Larson line. He's not really gaining, though. Wolfenbarger's still out to about a 4/10 of a second lead.
Contact! 14, Mike Edwards gets into the 22. Grant Harrell, he goes around on the front stretch. Caution waves as the 22 gets spit out of the field. Grant Harrell, contact out of turn number 4 from the 14 of Mike Edwards as the Fords get together.
I mean, Mikey just, let's call it how it looks. Mikey just turns him.
Yeah, throttled it up and drove the 22 out of the way, and Cody Cleaver pushed him the rest of the way out of the way.
Yeah.
Wow. I don't know if Edwards was annoyed with them or what, but definitely shipped them.
Well, should we find out?
Sure, bring in the 14 and see what happens.
Michael, this is Hayden and Swiss up in the booth. What the fuck?
I don't know. I got nothing.
It doesn't look great from a broadcast perspective.
I mean, behind the wheel, it felt very light, but I guess I just ran through them.
Well, you are still up there in that 4th spot. Minimal damage to that machine. Do you have anything for those front 3?
I don't know. I'm on the freshest tires, but you can't pass worth a damn here.
Well, is the car okay? I saw you get into the outside wall. So think you got any damage over there? It looks a little bent in.
It felt light, but we'll see. That slight checkup that happened earlier in the race, I was overheating from it, so these cars are weird.
And 4. Well, top 4 right now. A lot of drivers having some issues in the playoffs. Hang on to it and see what you can get out of it.
Yeah, even if you gotta wreck them, I guess.
10-4, bud. Good luck.
Michael Edwards came into the playoffs 9 below the cut line. So even a top 5 will be really good for his final 4 hopes. Unfortunately, he is still behind 2 drivers that he started the playoffs behind. That would be Garrett Wolfenbarger and Brad Wilson, currently 1-2 in the race, came into the playoffs 3-4.
I mean, he don't got to beat them all. He's just got to beat 1 to make it in there, you know? So.
You got to beat 8 to be in there. But...
Really, you got to beat 9.
Well.
But, you know.
Semantics.
Yeah. I just feel like Lucas has so much of a point advantage coming in here. This is going to wipe that out. However, it's not going to completely wipe it out. He'll kind of be just on a blank slate, and I think Lucas will still be really strong going forward. This is kind of
the next
the
3
chaos
races
race.
in the playoffs are Phoenix, Talladega, and Chicagoland. 3 tracks that I have total faith in Lucas Hoytsma being good at, especially that Chicagoland.
And Phoenix.
And yes, he's also really good at Phoenix.
Mm-hmm.
Talladega, he's a really good plate racer in SRL.
He's got a lot of friends, that helps.
Got a lot of friends, unlike somebody else I know.
Talking.
So, gonna have a lot of friends, and that'll just kind of be a game of luck there. But again, no reason to hit the panic button yet for Lucas Hoytsma.
Avid saying that iRacing needs to terminate that, what was it, the netcode expert, and distribute that salary amongst the rest of the iRacing members. This is just not working out right now.
Something has to change, and it's got to change soon because it's affecting who gets into the Pro Series at this point, and I'm surprised that iRacing has not taken bigger measures against it. Because it's going to start driving away a lot of people very quickly.
To be honest,
don't start addressing it.
To be honest, I think if they knew how to fix it, they already would have. I think they don't have a clue how to fix it.
They got to start figuring something out. Reduce the hit boxes. I don't know. Something.
All right, pace cars off. Teammates front row. Isaac Shelley slamming the 51.
Big
check up, and there it goes. Rankin the 3.
Boy.
And the field is stacking it up on the front stretch. Matt Benke gets up in the air. That all started with Isaac Shelley slamming the 51 on the restart. What the heck happened there?
Yeah, Shelley wanted to go.
And Wilson's trying to slow down.
Yeah, the 51 was not ready to.
That was bizarre. Shelley just keeps shoving the 51, so the 51 then has to keep lifting, and then it just keeps according, and by the time you get to the back of the field, all hell breaks loose. Daniel gets in there. Cliffs around, the 3's in it. Matt Benke gets airborne. Quinn Newton, last car in the lead lap. He's way behind the field, knows he doesn't need to be in it. Grant Harrell gets Scott Rankin. Look at the chaos that ensued after that, my goodness. Let's watch the 22. He kind of comes out of this pretty good. This is where the accordion gets to its worst point. The 39, 49, 22, and 9. And here comes the stack up. Oh, JR Deal gets the 22 into the 49. Cliff Mullins goes around. And JR Deal gets to 10th place after all that. Well, hopefully we figure out how to restart. Does this score Mike Edwards third now? All right.
It did score Mikey in third, so he's going to be on the bottom. I don't think that's where he wants to be. But should we go grab second place Brad Wilson? He can kind of talk us through his night and what happened there.
Heck yeah.
Brad, this is Hayden Swiss up in the booth. You got us?
Yes, sir.
Well, so you couldn't pass the pace car, or sorry, more accurately, couldn't pass Garrett. So you were just kind of on the brakes there, and that kind of all it wrote for you there?
I mean, yeah, I just was dragging the brake. I didn't even stomp on it. He was just hitting me so hard. It kind of like shot my car forward, then back, and then it shot me again. So, I mean, I hate that people's cars got torn up for someone else's mistakes, but I don't know.
You did what you had to do, I think.
Yeah, I mean, I got a black flag here in the trucks before. It screwed me over, and I'm just trying to not get a black this time.
Yeah, no blame from the booth here, but gonna have a really short run to the finish. Do you think you got a car that can go up there and beat your teammate?
If we click off some green flag laps, I think so. We were gaining a little bit there on the bottom, but trying to get past him might be a different story, because we're both going to be running hard and just try not to wreck him. He is a teammate, but I know that both of us are going to give it everything here.
You both came into the playoffs third and fourth, you specifically fourth. How much caution to the wind do you think you're going to throw here trying to get a race win?
Being technically right now in the Final Four, I think that we're just going to go for the win no matter what. If we end up on the back of a wrecker, then so be it. But just not going to try to wreck him. Rather wreck myself.
All right, well, 10-4, good luck.
Put on a show.
Put on a show, yep.
We're going.
Oh, I cut him off too soon. Whoops.
He said say we're gonna. It's good enough. Meanwhile, Mike Edwards up to the third spot with that situation with Ike bouncing off the back of the 51, so we'll see if things are a little different. Obviously, the launch car now is the car that Shelley is behind, so a different situation. Hopefully, we don't see any more shenanigans. I think Shelley will get a really good start here and probably jump Edwards for third.
And Shelley behind the race leader now, so I guess that bump in maybe in his mind won't matter, because the 32 could just go, but we'll see how the 34, damn it, approaches this.
All right, here we go. Green flag. Teammates get a great jump. No contact up front this time, fortunately. As predicted, Shelley does take over the third spot. Edwards fourth, and Cody Cleaver trying to get inside Edwards for the fourth spot.
Shelley to the bottom, really going to throw it in. He's going to wall the
Shoves
51.
the 51 to the wall. I'm sure that's not going to be very good for his opportunity to finish this race. I know that it's going to be hot under the collar of that 51. He's going to be chasing that 34 at all costs here.
3 to go, 0.3 of a second. Brad Wilson going to look to the bottom. Shelley's got to go, and he's got to go now. And Brad's going to get loose, and he's not going to be able to get back there. Isaac, 2 to go. It's going to take a miraculous end, which we've already seen once this season. I don't know where that happened.
I mean, Bristol, you never know. Some people just overdrive their cars and go for the win. Who would do that? Edwards out of shape, into the outside wall. He's going to lose several spots in F14 as the whole field gets to his inside.
We're ending this in regulation, but the gap between first and second is so huge.
Garrett
that
Wolfenbarger.
Shelley just...
He's trying to wall ride Chastain it. Not going to go his way. 32, Wolfenbarger wins. Shelley second. Wilson third. Trevor Trago gets the top four. And Cody Cleaver brings his own fifth. Mike Edwards rebounds to sixth. And actually, it just shows Travis Martin now sixth. Blake Giglio seventh. Mike Edwards eighth. J.R. Deal ninth. And Jeff Price picking up the top 10. Jake Lawrence 11th. Harrell 12th. Thomas Green 13th. Banky 14th. Cliff Mullins. Jeremy Sherr. Daniel Wallen. Quinn Newton. And then Scott Rankin on pit lane. So 18 cars finish it on the lead lap. And Garrett Wolfenbarger is your winner. Let's go get him.
Go down to those Shenandoah Shine guys. Garrett, this is Hayden Swiss at the booth. You got us?
Yeah, I got you. A lot of upset people. I don't know what's going on.
Bristol.
Yeah, well, short track Tuesday night. What can you do?
Yeah.
Well, you pick up the win here. You get a bunch of points in the playoffs. You came in third, win the race. How do you feel?
I'm feeling great, honestly. I mean, Bristol's always been probably one of my top 3 tracks, so I always have a blast here, and just running up front with Bradley the whole time was pretty fun, and just trying to survive. It's always a risky game here at Bristol, so always very very interesting and lots of drama and stuff, clearly. But not really liking what Isaac did there and just shoving Bradley into the wall there. Not really liking that, but glad we still both got top 3s and we get the win and a whole bunch of points. So I had a pretty good time.
10-4, congrats on the win. You got the Friends Family Sponsor shout out for the win tonight.
Shenandoah Shine, Bradley and Brantley for coming out and racing. You guys for broadcasting. Mooncar, K Designs, Brantley for making my paints. Not Brandon.
Not Brandon.
Not still.
Never pro.
Not yet.
Not till he races.
And everyone else for watching, and some of the guys for coming out. Some of them are upset at me, so I'm not going to thank them. But most of the guys for coming out and racing. I had a blast, and hopefully we are talking to you next week. Where are we at next week?
Phoenix.
That's a good track. So hopefully we should be talking to you again. Another good short tracker. I don't know if it's a short track. It's decently big.
You almost sound as arrogant as Hayden Law. Almost. All right, but get on out of here. Enjoy your win. We appreciate you.
Yep, thanks.
All right, let's go get second place Isaac Shelley if he's around anywhere. And there him is. Isaac, this is Hayden and DG up in the booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, I got you.
Well, first question, what happened there between you and the 51? A lot of people seem unhappy about all that. What went down?
I felt like he brake checked me on the one restart. I was just trying to roll to his bumper to, not to go, but to be ready for when the leader went. I could give him a good push off into one, and then he just stomped on the brakes and put a hole in my nose. So I got a run down the back going into 3 that one time, and I just decided I was going to pass him. But yeah, I don't know. I heard coming in that those two played games a lot, and I think I figured that out quick. But I think we were the fastest car. Drove through the field after pit road mishap halfway through the race and still almost beat him. So it was fun. I really enjoyed it being back here. Just one spot short.
10-4, when are you going to see you come for a full season of this?
Man, I don't know. Just starting college, in September, so it's been an adjustment, college life, but I'm settling in, and maybe next season we'll come back and run a full season. I'm definitely a way better driver than I was the last time I raced here full time, so I think I could come in here and run for a championship for sure.
10-4, we'll see if it ever comes to fruition. Good luck in the college studies. We appreciate you coming out, and have a good night.
All right, thank you guys. Have a good night.
Now we'll go grab our third place finisher, Brad Wilson. Brad, this is Hayden Swiss again. You kind of got used up there on that final run. Kind of walk us through that and walk us through your night.
I knew he was going to race as hard because, everyone's going to have their own opinion of what happened, but just thought he was going to keep going on the high side since he was faster up there. I kind of committed to the bottom, and I guess, like he said, he decided he was going to pass me, I guess, by whatever means necessary. But I mean, he succeeded at it. Just sucks we really couldn't get back to him and race him hard there at the end.
It looked like you were going for it really hard too.
So we were trying to get there.
Well, that would have been really entertaining. Unfortunately, we didn't get to see that go down, but congrats on your strong P3 run tonight. Good point tonight for you, since the 34 doesn't count for points anyway. So second highest finishing playoff driver has to be good momentum heading into Phoenix.
Oh yeah, it definitely gives us a little bit of a buffer, but not a whole lot. Just I'm not that great in these cars, it seems. Just gonna try to, I guess, get as many points as we can, because we can't win in these damn things.
Not that great, and he runs like top 5 every freaking race. Shut up and get out of here.
Fourth playoff seed, no big deal.
Oh man, well, congrats on the strong run tonight. Putting on a good show for us. We appreciate you coming out. You got the Friends Family sponsor shout outs for us?
Gotta thank Shine.co, Mooncar, y'all for putting this on and broadcasting this, Hayden for giving us a chance instead of taking another championship. Shout out to all the playoff cars that the 34 wrecked. Really does suck. But thank everyone for coming out and racing really hard, and just can't thank y'all enough for putting this on. I mean, it's fun.
All right, we appreciate you, and let's, like I said, the whole campaign for the season 12 is going to be get Pearl in a series and run full time. That's the whole campaign.
We'll get it started then.
I don't care what series we do it in. That's the campaign. All right, man. Get out of here. Enjoy your night. We appreciate you, and we'll see you soon.
All right, thank you, sir.
Brad Wilson bringing it home P3 tonight, and Hayden taking his time getting him into another chat room, so I'll do it.
Anyway.
Good times. All right. Well, that was spicy. Shenandoah Shine guys already angry with Ike Shelley, one race in the season together, so that's exciting. I don't know about you, but I actually enjoy the beef. As long as it's like civil beef, I love the beef.
As long as the beef isn't wrecking 18 cars a race, it's kind of fun to follow.
Exactly. That's kind of where I'm at with it. Like, I don't mind the beef. You want to have anger at a driver, have anger at a driver. Just don't be a real prick about it. Like, racing really hard and trying to get back to him and push him right back out of the way, I'm all for that. You know what I mean? Like, just don't dump his shit. Just do what he did to you.
Exactly.
Anyway, that was a good time. Congrats, Garrett Wolfenbarger, on the win. Let's run through our final results once I figure out how to get this other piece off of the screen. There we go. Garrett Wolfenbarger, Isaac Shelley, Brad Wilson are your podium finishers. Trevor Trago, great point tonight for him, finishes 4th. Cody Cleaver, another playoff contender, finishing in 5th in the top 5. Great job there. Travis Martin, 6th. Blake Giglio rebounds to 7th after a crazy night where he kept having to go to the tail of the field. I'm actually pretty impressed with that finish out of Blake. Mike Edwards, 8th. J.R. Deal snags the 9th place, and Jeff Price winds up in the top 10. What a night. Hayden, take it away. Next page.
Jake Lawrence finishes in that 11th spot. Grant Harrell finishes 12th. Thomas Green 13th after having arguably one of, if not the best car of the night. Matt Banky getting a solid result in 14th. Cliff Mullins bringing it home 15th after a wild night from that machine as well. Jeremy Shearer 16th. Daniel Llewellyn 17th. Playoff driver Quinn Newton getting an 18th spot. That's not going to help him, unfortunately missing on stage points and bad race points, being your final playoff seed. Excuse me.
Don't die.
Scott Rankin 19th, and then you start getting into cars that did not finish. Dalton Hayes finishing 20th.
And page number 3, you got Trenton Sneed. Tough night for him. I saw that right front brake after accidentally taking his fast repair. Ends up 21st. Brantley Bryant, 22nd. Another playoff contender having a bad night, along with Gatlin Downey. He did move up from 27th up to 23rd, so picked up 4 spots, and that's the best he could do after popping a motor early and taking a fast repair. He was in, I think, both the first 2 cautions, so that was a rough start to the race for Gatlin. Good for him for sticking it in there and trying to go ahead and make up points at the end anyway. Lucas Hoytsman, we saw him hit the tire barrels after taking a fast repair under caution. Very odd incident for Hoytsma, and unfortunately that put him out of the race. Jay Munch out in 25th. Margison out early, 26th. Kenneth Stout doing Kenneth Stout things, just crashed it early and disappeared, saying he should wreck more people. I don't know. It was a weird message. And then Scott Elston never got it started tonight. The 85 car, shown 28th, does not get credit for starting the race. Appreciate everyone coming out tonight. Hope you enjoyed tonight's broadcast. Thank Arc Music. Hayden, tell us about Arc Music a little bit.
Arc Music is a DJ company here located in the Midwest, not far from Lincoln, Nebraska. you need any kind of DJing or karaoke for your special events, weddings, parties, whatever you got, give them a call in the Midwest area, and we can get you some of the best DJing in the Midwest.
Hell yeah. Thanks, Arc Music, for putting on our broadcast. Thank you, Hayden, for joining us in the broadcast booth and letting others have a chance to get out here and shine, since, you like to stink up the shows. Lucas did win 6 of the regular season 10 races, so it's going to be quite a hole for him to dig out of, but he does have a lot of points to fall back on, so it'll be interesting to see if he is able to push back up to the front of this pack. We'll do the points here in short order after the YouTube ends. Thanks, everyone, for coming out tonight. Thanks again to all of our admins that help make this go around. Thanks to all of our drivers and fans that come out and root and make things possible. We appreciate you so very much, and we'll see you in the next broadcast. All right, that wraps up things on the YouTube. We can get the music back on. Hayden, you can stick around or disappear, whatever.